So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to set up a canister filter. Obviously you might have a different brand of canister filter. Today we're going to be setting up this Eheim canister filter just because it was cheap and it's what I'm going to be using for the aquarium that's behind us. Pretty much every single canister filter is similar in some way. They all pretty much work the same. Even if you've got a different brand of canister filter, I should be able to today help you set it up, understand how they work, and understand whether your aquarium needs one. The reason we're setting up a canister filter in this aquarium is it's slightly underfiltered. There are a lot of fish in here. I've only got 2 sponge filters and a little Zis tumbling air filter. So this filter is definitely gonna take care of things. This filter is gonna make sure that it keeps your ammonia, nitrates, and nitrites down. Let's start unboxing this thing. Open the box. We're gonna have all your instructions, who needs that. This is a piece of foam for filtration. Here's our little canister. So this is what's gonna hold all of our filter media. This is gonna be our unit, so it's gonna pump the water in and out of our tank and do all of the work. Now, this is like a little mini one. So what we're gonna do to open this, you're gonna open the sides up. Most canister filters have edges like this on them. We'll take this lid off, and you can see here, we have our impeller. I think this is a guard on the impeller, so we can take this off. Now, if your canister filter ever stops working, we always ask our customers to check these, because sometimes when you haven't cleaned this in a little while, there's a little magnet in here. Sometimes when people don't clean this specific part, that's when the canister filter stops pumping. So just make sure you stay on top of that. If it stops working, go and check your impeller, clean it. The amount of times we clean impellers and the pumps work again, it's insane. So we'll put this back on. So that's your head. So you've obviously got your power outlet, the water in, water out, hosing. This is where all of the filtration happens. So in here, we have all of our media. Now, a good canister filter will come with its own media. Most of the time, the media is gonna be pretty cheap. So in here, we've got the first layer of media in a basket. This is like this is crushed coral. I don't even know what this is. Second layer of media is gonna be some sponge. This is gonna help to take sediment and bigger pieces of debris out of the water. And then that's all for this little filter. We've only got 2 layers. So we'll also open up this side of things as well. See what's in here. I think there's going to be some other little parts of hosing and stuff like that. So here we've got, I think this is a spray bar or an inlet. I'm not too sure yet. This is definitely a spray bar. We've got some hosing as well, which we're going to need to cut up and connect to the filter. They weren't very generous with this. Look how much they gave us, like maybe 2.5 meters. And then a little bag of extra bits and bobs. Most of the time I find that I throw out half of these pieces because they're for very specific cases. So we'll take all these parts out. All right, this is a little bit different to other ones I've set up actually. We'll start off by setting up the way we want the water to filter. So the way most canisters work is, you can see each little container has a little, like a pipe, and these will connect and pump water down to the bottom. That water flows up from the bottom through all of the chambers and then comes back out to the top where it's pumped back into the tank. What we want to do is have all of like our sponges and stuff probably down the bottom to collect any debris that's going to come through and instantly catch it. Then we're going to have our biological layer. So we'll start with our first layer of just our normal sponge. That's going to sit in here. There's actually a little bit of a gap down here too. Then our next layer is going to be biological. So in our filtration, we have mechanical filtration and we have biological filtration. Mechanical is purifying the water, taking out sediment from the water. Biological is providing housing for bacteria, making sure that your water stays pure through a biological process. So this is what this bag of whatever this is gonna aim to do. I don't even know if I want to use this. I'll be back with something better. I found one of these little socks, had the mysterious white media. This is just some ceramic or something, I think. Perfect fit. Probably fucking not. I'll use this for another filter. Fuck's sakes. I'll be back. So here I just have some red lava rock, which we sell in store. And I've just given this a rinse out. This is really porous and it's probably gonna be a better media than those ceramic rings. I'd rather use this. And all these little holes inside these tiny pieces of rock are gonna be home to those bacteria. So much better than those ceramic rings. Okay, so now with our scoria, we'll put that in there, and then to finish it off, we'll add our filter floss, which is of course gonna go this way. And this is just gonna polish our water off. This stuff gets dirty. You'll probably need to replace it every now and then, but it will help to just clean out the water just a tiny bit, get some of that sediment out. Honestly, I think that that's all good. Now I gotta figure out the next step. I think we probably need to read the instructions.
Your instructions, who needs that?
Next, we're gonna put our top back on the canister filter. Obviously lining up this hole with where all the other holes are. We wanna make sure that all the holes are lined up so that the water actually flows through correctly. So we're gonna put that on like that. We're gonna lock it back in, and our canister filter is now ready to go. So now we've got to think about how we're actually going to set this up. What we'll do is we'll flick this back onto off, and most canister filters have a piece like this on top of them. And we're going to start connecting up hoses. Measure up our pipe and cut, hoping there's enough length on the other side for the next part. I don't know if there is going to be. Let's just see, maybe just enough. All right, that's on into the suction cup so you can stay there. These are always fiddly, hence why I'm making the video. Because the first time I tried to set one of these up, I nearly flooded my whole house. So now we've got both of our pipes connected, cut, and put to the tank. So you can see they're both down here. We've run them behind. If you come look up here, we have the outlet and we also have the inlet. So we've got to connect these now to our canister. This piece goes on like this and clips down. Okay, so this one's in. So this is going to be in. That doesn't need to be on too far. And then we're going to grab our other pipe. That's going to go obviously onto the other side. Alrighty, so we've now connected the inlet, the outlet, and we've got this disconnected so far. We're going to put this into the top, push it in, push that down, lock that on. That is pretty much the entire setup done. Okay, so now it's all set up, most of the time your filter might have like a little priming button, which you're gonna wanna hit so it starts siphoning water into the canister from the tank. Otherwise, I haven't been able to find a priming button on this one, so I'm just gonna plug it in. Okay, now it's just turning over, so that's not good. Because this one doesn't have a priming button on it, I don't think. And it won't work when I turn it on, I'm gonna have to suck it. And flood the whole room. Okay, now there's water going in there.
Turn it on.
Can you see?
Turn it on.
Now it's on. See, you can actually see the water moving. And that's how a canister filter works. I thought it would have had a priming button on it. But yeah, you can see the water's coming out now. Oh,
It stopped.
great. So we do have it working. I have attached the inlet and outlet so you can see it's firing up here. Come have a look. It's some nice B-roll. So it's blasting the water out, improving the flow, helping to filter the tank. Should make a huge difference. And if you look, I guess down here might be the best way to look. You can see we've got the outlet down a little bit further. Now, it's very important you add that guard there because otherwise you're gonna suck fish up, you're gonna suck shrimp up. Down the bottom, we have our little canister sitting here. So doing its job, taking the water from the top, pumping it through all that filter media and sending it back into our tank. Now, I could leave the video here. I wanna quickly show you guys on another model of canister filter how to disconnect it and give it a clean so that you guys completely understand how they work. So let's see if I can even do that. Ready to flood the rest of the room? Got another canister filter in here. So you unplug it. Okay, so you're gonna turn this off. You're gonna pull this out. Okay, I'm just gonna pull that out. Okay, it's out. Oh my God. We take the top off this one, pull the top off, get water all over the floor. That's part of having an aquarium. So it's gonna take this out of its socket. So look at all that sludge. That's what stops it working. And we'll go to the sink and give this a rinse. So we'll clean the impeller. Just try and get the gunk off of it. I mean, it's gonna be a little bit dirty. Let's go layer by layer. Look at all the dead shrimp. How sad. Oh no, look at how many are in there. And we'll start just pulling out the layers. And look, this is where I'm gonna get in trouble as well. You're not meant to clean filter media under tap water because it kills the bacteria. Don't follow what I'm doing because I'm gonna wash this under tap water. I don't care. I know the aquarium that they're in has plenty of bacteria to go around. Get tank water from your aquarium and use that to clean it, like clean tank water. But if you're like me and you don't care, don't abide by the normal rules of the hobby, give it a rinse. Okay, that's layer one. Layer two. What's in here? Oh, there's some ceramic rings. Another version of biological media there. I recommend cleaning your canister filter every 6 months. There is a lot of dead shrimp in here from that power outage. These would have caused an ammonia spike if we didn't catch it. I didn't even think of that. Isn't that crazy? We had a living colony of shrimp in here. And then down the bottom, look at this. Last night we had the power go out for 12 hours. All of the shrimp in here would have died because they weren't getting oxygen. So luckily, we're cleaning this now. Otherwise, they would have caused a huge ammonia spike. But yes, you will have shrimp start living in your canister filter. All right, we'll put this one back together and that's it. So, okay, same story here. We're gonna line these all up the correct way so the holes all line up. Put our impeller back in. Pop that. The impeller's back on now, and that's gonna sit like that. So we're gonna put the lid back on and then reattach it through the jigsaw. Right, well, that's how you set up a canister filter, and that's also how you service a canister filter. Wasn't the way we wanted it to go. We got there in the end. Good luck with your canister filters, guys. I love them. I hate them. They're good for some tanks. They're good for not good for some others, and they can be a pain in the bum, but they can also be amazing. So yeah,